Okay, so here we are. We're back in our world. And last time we looked at documenting what we're doing. We had the slate, the poster, the board, and then obviously that camera and the book and quill. What we're going to look at today is how we can add a little bit more interactivity to our world and make things seem a little bit more alive by looking at adding NPCs. Now, we've got the existing NPCs wandering around and working the village here. Got a couple of weaponsmiths. We've got the leather worker here. But we can add our own NPCs that can give us information that we need. They might also give us items. They can move us around, various things. So we're going to add them in. So the first thing is we're going to find the NPC spawn egg, and we're going to find that in our inventory. So we're going to press E, and I already typed it in. So if you just type in NPC, we can go through that again, NPC, and we get the rainbow colored egg there. And we'll put that on our hotbar. So there we go. And if we try and place an NPC, we get this red error. Now we're going to need to turn World Builder on. So this is really simple. I'm going to press the / to bring the chat bar with it already in. I'm going to type WB. I'm going to press enter. And that tells me it's set World Builder status has been updated to true. So now that's ready to go. What we can do is we can put in our NPC. And we do that by simply right-clicking, and they appear. See, they're already called NPC. If you left-click on them, they disappear. So if you put them in the wrong place, you can remove them and place them back down. And when you right-click on them, you get various different options. So you get names, so we could change this and we could call it My NPC. You've got various different skins. Now, these are the only skins you can use, but there's enough different ones that whatever your world is, you should be able to find something that matches, be a little information terminal, various different sort of people or creatures. And we're just going to stick with this first one that it's done. And then if we wanted them to give a specific message when they're used, we can click this edit dialog, and here we can see the box that would come up. And so, hello, I am an NPC, and you can program me. And we could put anything in there. If we're telling a story, we could put the text in there, and so on. And then we click the cross, and then we close it again. Obviously, if we right-click on this NPC, we get that box to come up. So if we want to check what we've done has worked so far, with the exception of the name, because we can see that, it's / WB again to turn off the world builder. And then if we right-click on our NPC, we get what comes up and said, hello, I'm an NPC, you can program me, we can put our text in there, we can read it, or we could use the immersive reader and have it read to us, or change the language. So it gives us some really nice accessibility features. So that's how to place them, change the name, and add dialogue. Right, so in our NPC works with that. So let's make them do something. So we'll have them teleport us. And because we're creative, what we're going to do is we're actually going to have them just teleport us 100 blocks up in the air. Now, we've got our coordinate down on the screen. See, position, I'm 23864 minus 207, and that relates to our X, Y, and Z coordinates. This is our position on the map, north, south, east, west, and up and down. And what we'll do is in another video, so stay tuned for that, we will look at actually how to work that out and what it does. But effectively, the very middle of your map in Minecraft is 0, 0, 0. At the minute, we can tell we're 238 blocks to the right, and we are 64 blocks up in the air. So in fact, 0 is down below us. And then we are 206 blocks to the south. That's minus. We've sort of gone backwards. So here, I'm going to turn World Builder back on, because we want to be able to edit our NPC. Now we've got various options, but here we're going to go to advanced settings. Now we've got add URL. That's going to let me link to a web page. So anything I've got on a web page, or if I've got a resource that's saved as a PDF or some link that goes to something in a OneDrive or a Google Drive or a Dropbox or anything that's web-based, we can link from there. And that's a really useful feature. But we're going to look at add commands. So we add that, and it starts off by one. Now we can have multiple ones, and we can have commands and URLs mixed up together within our NPC, and we will add a URL starting later on. But we type our command here, and it's not in Python, it's not in JavaScript, it's the Minecraft commands as you would just type them in if you're using the chat. So / TP, give, set day, time, any of those go in here. And then we've got 3 options. We can have button mode, so we get a button, and this could be, put a name for it, so it's teleport, because that's what it do. Or on enter is as soon as you open the NPC. On exit is when you close the box. If you wanted them to give you some information and then give you an item at the end of it, you could use on exit. If I wanted this space a bit bigger, I can click the plus, and I just get a wider box there. If I'm typing more, if I'm writing quite a complex. But I'm going to do teleport, so I'm going to TP, which is teleport, and we've got a number of options for this. There's self, you can type in your player name. In a world when we can use @p for this. That is the closest player to the NPC. So you can assume if you're up there and you're clicking on it, assuming it's just you in the world, then it will just work on you. It'll teleport you, it'll give you the items, and so on. So I'm going to put it in 226, and I don't separate anything from commas here. And I'm going to go 164 because I want to go 100 blocks up from where I am. So where I'm at 64, I want 164, and then minus 209. So that's going to put me just 100 blocks up in the air. And I'm in creative, so there's no worries about me running out of health and dying and having to respawn or anything like that. So that's done now. So I click back, close. I'm going to turn World Builder off because I want to use my NPC. I'm going to click on it. You can see now I've got a button here. Other buttons would appear under here as well. And if it's a link to URL, as we'll see shortly, that's in blue. So I click on that now. I'm up in the air. And there I am. See? So slightly off from where I was because that's where I spawned in. But then I could move back. And you can see how you could start to move around the map. So here we are back in our world, and we've looked at how we can set our NPC to teleport us. So what we're going to do is how we can set the NPC to actually give us items. And there are a number of ways you can have the items delivered to you, either when you first click on them, when you close the dialogue with the NPC, or when you click a button. So we turn World Builder back on, and we're going to open our NPC menu. We've got it here. We could always change it. We've got our dialogue here that we've looked at before. And we're going to go back to the advanced settings. And we're still a command. So we're going to click Add Command. So we're going to have another one now. We've got 2 commands that are put in. And again, we're going to have it on button because we want the choice. And it will be Take Camera. And now we want to give the command. So it's the same as a console command. So we'd give. So whatever consoles you put in, you can have it set the time of day to give you an item. To do anything you could type in a command to do, you could put feasibly on an NPC. But here, we're just going to get them to give us the camera. So it's give, and you use @p, which is the closest player. And generally that's going to be whoever stood there. And if it's just a world where you're in your own, that's fine. If there's going to be multiple people in there, you might want to look at some of the other settings for those. And we'll have a little breakdown of what those are another time. So give the nearest player the camera. And that's done. So there's our command. And we could use this to fill blocks, to change blocks. And again, whatever. But that's done. So go back. I'm going to turn World Builder off. And we'll look first of all, so you can see inventory is totally empty, so we've got nothing there, so we'll know if it works. Talk to the NPC, take the camera, and there we go. We've now got the camera, and we could go and do our sightseeing. So here we are, back in, and we've still already got our NPC dialog box open. So we're going to just look at how to add a URL. So I go back to Advanced Settings, scroll down, nice and straightforward, add URL, it's the other button. And again, we can add everything in here. So I'm just going to copy and paste my website address there. Now that's a web page. It could be a document held on your OneDrive, Google Drive, SharePoint, anything on another website. If it's hosted online, you put your link in there and it's all good to go. We just give our button a name. So Minecraft EDU to keep it short. There we go. So it's in there. Put it back. Close it. We shall turn World Builder back off. And then when we click on our NPC, you see now we've got the button. That's in blue. Click on that and it opens the link for us.